Brian, I've heard about the 1031 exchange, the 1033 exchange. These are all exchanges, but now there's this 1035 exchange. Can you tell me a little bit more about how that differs from the other two?
Yeah, the other two have to do with real estate. All of the 1030 something code sections have to do with getting out of a investment that you have, getting into another, not having to pay income tax on it. So they're all exchanges. The section 1031, or excuse me, the 1035 exchange really relates to annuities or life insurance policies. So insurance contracts essentially is what we're talking about here. So with the section 1035 exchange, you can, maybe you have an annuity that you're not really thrilled about, and it's beyond its surrender period, but you're going, oh, I'm kind of stuck with this, aren't I? Well, no, you're not. You can do a Section 1035 exchange from one annuity to another. Conversely, you might have a life insurance policy that just isn't really doing what you want it to do, and you want to exchange it for something else. Again, you can do that. Now, with life insurance, a little different. You still have to qualify physically. In annuity, you do not. But the point of this discussion on Section 1035 exchanges is that you don't have to be stuck with an insurance product that you don't like or want anymore once it's gone past its surrender point.
All right, so a 1035 exchange just keeps you from having to hold on to something that isn't doing for you what you'd hoped that it would be. You can exchange it for something better. Why would someone not want to use a Section 1035 exchange?
Yeah, so some of the reasons why you wouldn't want to do that is, let's say that you have a life insurance policy and you want to get out of it, and you realize, oh, I took that out 20 years ago, I was in great health. Well, I've had some health issues since then. So you're probably not a candidate for a 1035 exchange. You're probably going to want to stick with that life insurance policy because, frankly, you can't get a new one. So that's a reason why you would not do that. On annuities, you could just let them lapse, but that can be a taxable event. Now, if it's qualified annuity in an IRA, no big deal. You can just take the money out when it's beyond its surrender period and do a different investment. But if it's not in that, you'd pay a big tax bill. So you might want to do a 1035 exchange in that point to continue to defer the tax. And so, yeah, one thing you do have to look out for, another detriment, is you might have some insurance agent trying to talk you into 1035 exchanges, telling you all the benefits. Oh, I have these great annuities, but you're not out of the surrender period yet, and you're going to pay a big fine, a big percentage of your value. You're going to have to surrender a penalty. And so beware of somebody telling you you should do a 1035 exchange on your annuities or life insurance where they're going to be compensated for that decision. Make sure you trust their judgment that they're interested in your best interests, because otherwise you might be kind of going sideways and cost yourself a lot of money in the process.
Brian, can you give me an example of a client who has used a 1035 exchange to their advantage?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of examples where people have annuities that they bought 7 years ago, 10 years ago, and that particular annuity company maybe had a good offering at the time, but things change and they change their payout. And so now you look at that annuity and you say, well, they're not really offering much upside right now, whereas other annuities have really good upsides. So it's, once they come out of their surrender period, it's a really good time, anytime you have an annuity that's coming up on its surrender period, to review that annuity, compare it against what else is out there. Why not improve if you can? The IRS is helping you out here. They have code section 1035. They say, we are okay with you getting out of one insurance contract and getting into a better one. So why not at least look at that at the time that your contracts are coming up? As far as life insurance, if you think you'll physically qualify, that's another thing. They don't have surrender periods, but like annuities do. But you may decide, I just want to make sure I'm in the right one. Is there something better out there? So this is the vehicle we have, the tool we have to be able to improve our insurance holdings using Section 1035.
Brian, any other examples that you might have of someone who's used a 1035 exchange?
Yeah, more specifically, back 10 years ago when bond yields were higher, there were a lot of fixed index annuities that gave you the first 7 or 8% of the S&P 500 if it went up each year with a zero floor. Well, today that annuity company may not be that excited about getting new business, so they've dropped it from 7 or 8% to 3.5%. So when the market's up, you only get 3.5. When it's down, you get a 0. That's not that great, given other things that are out there. So I've seen a lot of these where just the insurance carrier themselves, they were great, like I said, 7-10 years ago. Today, they're not as competitive. Someone else wants the business more and is offering a much higher ceiling. So why not go from those that are less competitive to more competitive? So I have a lot of examples of people that have improved their position, just a straight-on trade from one annuity carrier to another.
Brian, great information. Thanks for telling us about the 1035 exchange.